guys, and welcome to the new Coach Dev Academy Lab Guide. I'm Corentin Guinez, driver for Simmercy, and today we are on the rainy Misano for the third week of the Falcon Tire Sports Car Challenge, and we are with the Porsche 718 GT4. As usual, first we go with the hot lap, and then we talk together about the details about the combo. So yep, let's get started. Okay guys, so we go for the lap on Misano. So as you can see, it's raining quite a lot, to be honest. Even if the main difficulty for me during that session was to basically understand where it was good to go and where it wasn't. So basically where it was good to brake and where it wasn't. So it was a bit difficult, but yeah, basically T1, you are in the dry conditions, you are going to look at the curb and even more on the left side, so you can almost put like the left wheels on the green part. But obviously this time, because of the track is wet, you just try to um, stay away from the proper racing line. So you're going to stay a bit more to the right side. So of course not even getting close of the curbing, but yeah, you just try to make sure you can get a bit of a margin. As a braking reference, just braking like at, I would say, 80 at the 80. You have the 100 board, which is the 100 board, which is on the left side. Just when you have the runoff with the grass, and then once you're getting past the 100, I guess, yeah, between 90 and 80 before the corner. Just go on the brake, of course, not braking too much because you don't want to get into the ABS, and of course it feels like when, I don't know if it's the same on the other class, for example the GT3s, but yeah, if you get into the ABS, it's even worse with the rain. So you have to be even more careful on the brake. So yeah, 80 or 90 before the corner, just going on the brake, keeping around 65% of the brake. Then I'm heading into the corner. Just stay with third. I'm not dropping to second. As you can see, getting a bit of curbing on the inside, dropping to second on the exit. Then just going back on power, trying to find the rotation on the exit, because if I just steer to the right, the car will just like feel like a dead body and just will just keep on the steer. So putting a bit of throttle, getting the rotation to bring back the car to the right. That's why second is important when you are getting onto the exit, onto second, on power to find the rotation. And as you can see, you can really see it on the replay. You see that the car goes straight, and then when I'm putting back on the power, the car goes quicker to the quicker, and as well quickly to the right. So as you can see, the car is on the right, going on the brake. Then I will just stay with second, just try to make sure I can stay quite tight on the exit, so I'm not going to reach the curbing on the right side, even if I don't think you are really going to reach the curb on a dry condition. So as you can see, I'm just really trying to stay in the first half of the track, getting the curb on the inside with second, then just try to build up some momentum. So I will just go a bit to the left after the exit, and then I will just turn to the right, trying to make sure I can carry as much momentum as I can, just trying to manage the throttle. So I will just wait that I went through the first right, and then once I went through the first right, then I will just go pedal to the metal, and then just try to make sure I open the steering enough to not get sideways. And then once you are on the exit of this long right, then just try to move to the middle of the track, not quite the middle of the track, but close to the edge of the first half of the track on the left. And then as you can see, just going on the brake, 60 70% braking around, but not more than that, otherwise you will feel that the ABS will send you wide, and you will go too deep into the corner. For this one, just trying to put the right wheel on the curbing, because it actually feels not too bad. Even if it looks like there is some puddles in the on the apex, but somehow the grip is there, so it's actually easier to rotate the car. So as you can see, with second, putting the car almost on the curb, I guess. But at least I'm getting really close. Yeah, I'm really close of the curb, but I think you can really put the right wheels on the curb. But yeah, I think you don't really need to go wide for this one to look at maybe drier line, because I think this one works pretty good to really get the apex for this one. Then as you can see, when I'm getting into the corner, going on throttle, just trying to find the rotation, like I said for turn 2, or it was turn 1. Like if you just stay off brake or off throttle, it's just a dead body. So you have to make sure you can really play with the brake, but even more with the throttle, because you find more rotation with the throttle actually, especially on the exit. On the entry, of course you need the brake, but at that point the brakes are not useful anymore. So at that point, just play with the throttle, try to make sure you find the rotation, and as you can see, it worked. Not going on the curbing on the left, because then it gets really slippery and you lose some momentum on your way to the right and then the left, which leads you to the straight, to the back straight. So as you can see, on throttle, trying to find the momentum, then just lifting, trying to make sure I can get as much sort of run of a curb as I can on the inside. So as you can see, just cutting quite a lot on the apex of this right one. So I think I take a fair amount of curbing, and even more, a bit of green stuff as well. As you can see, as well, putting the power down when I'm going on the curb, because I know that it's a bit slippery, and the fact that it's a bit slippery will help me actually to bring the car to the very right, so then I can really have a good momentum to the back straight. So as you can see, throttle on the curb, then the car is almost fully on the right. Just make sure you're not getting the curb. That's the mistake I've done quite a few times actually, just clipping the curb with the right wheels, and then once you are clipping the curb, or just maybe just a white line, enough to make the rail being really unstable. And then of course, once you've done that mistake, you lose all the momentum on the back straight. So yeah, easy mistake to do. So even if it's not ideal sometimes, we are always we always say that you have to use all the track, everything you can. sometimes, especially with rainy conditions, it's better to make some compromise and sometimes maybe stay away a bit more from the line or the curb, but at least keep the car alive. And I guess that's what we see during the races. Many people are basically dying during the race because they take too many risks. So yeah. As you can see, car on the right, then just releasing the throttle, not going on the brake, putting third for this one. So exit of this right one second, then up to third feels more comfortable with third. And then as you can see, once you are getting past the exit and leaving the curb, car is in the perfect line. No need to put more steering to the left. Then once you're on the right line, just going fully on power, just make sure you're just leaving the right wheels on the very edge of the curb, but not going over, because then if you go with the right wheels over the curb, it's just going to be really slippery. You can lose the car or just at least lose quite a lot of momentum. So yeah. Then so we move on to the back straight, so nothing incredible, I would say. Just going on the left to shorten the distance. And then we will look at the 150 and then the 100. I'm just braking between the two boards, so I guess 125. Yeah, almost around 125. As you can see, just staying away, like T1, away from the normal line, I would say, and the curbing on the right. So just staying almost in the middle of the track, going on the brake, same as before, between 70 and 60% on the brake. We'll drop to second. As you can see, same, staying away from the apex, because you can have some standing water, I guess. So yeah, just better for me to um, try to find a bit of dry, even if I don't think it's really dry, but at least stay away from the rubber and the water on the apex, and then at least I can have a better run on the exit, because I will have less traction issue, I would say. So then once I'm into the corner, just going back on power, trying to find the rotation. Something which is really important is to be a bit more careful when you are going back on power, because of course you can be quite aggressive when it's dry. When it's wet, it's a bit risky. Of course, there is just a very low chance that you just spin the car. But of course, if you are going too aggressively on power, um, you will have more wheel spin, so you're gonna lose more momentum on the exit. You're not really going to lose the car, I would say, on the exit, but yeah, compared to the dry, of course, it's a bit more challenging because you wanna be aggressive on power, because, for example, in this corner, you wanna find the rotation, but yeah, you have to find the right amount of throttle on the exit, and same for the brakes. So yeah, what makes it a bit more difficult, I guess, but to be honest, it's pretty fine. It's just about making sure that you um brake where you should brake, especially on the rain. Not going too deep on the brake, not being too aggressive on throttle, even if you need to have some aggressive manner with the throttle to find the rotation. But yeah, it's not so difficult. I guess it's just a matter of time, getting used to the rain, and it should be all fine. Then once we are leaving this left one with this hairpin, just moving to the left. So then I can just um, move back to the right, and then just brake straight, because if I arrive too deep on the right, then I will have to brake, but at the same time turn the steering. As you can see, I'm on the left. I will steer to the right, and then once I'm getting close to the white line, going on the brake, I keep the steering almost straight, of sort of fully straight. Of course, you're not going to keep the straight like this, completely straight, because at that point, if you do that, you will just end up on the runoff, and then you will end up in the gravel because it's really slippery. The runoff is too slippery, and then you will end up in the tire wall. So of course, you can't keep the steering fully straight, but the fact that I went on the left and then steering a little bit before I'm braking helps me to find the steering a bit more straight, and then it gives me a bit more braking performance. As usual, so far, as we saw during the lap, just not going too deep on the brake, steering around 60 at the best, at the maximum, between 60, 65, 70 at the biggest. I guess the biggest is 70. Maybe this one was 70. But yeah, just try to make sure you're not going too deep on the brake. So on the left, turning to the right, on the brake, steering straight, dropping to second. Then, as you can see, trying to find some dry, or at least some grip on the outside. So then, as you can see, into the corner, just going back on power, trying to find the rotation, and then I will just try to open the steering, just try to go for the exit, go for the outside, just trying to avoid the curbing on the exit. But yeah, there is nothing insane about this corner, I would say, on the exit. Once you are into the corner, you just try to steer to the right, find the rotation, find the momentum, just try to make sure you avoid any sort of wheel spin, and then once again just try to avoid the curb on the exit. And then we go for the long straight with the right one, which is actually not even a corner with the drive, but it is actually one of the trickiest one, I think. This one and the next one, the two corners I struggled the most, because you don't have that much grip actually into those ones. Like with the dry, it's not even corners. Like you just steer a bit to the right, but you stay flat out no matter what. With the wet setup, with the wet conditions, it's really difficult, because if you stay fully flat, it's just basically you just understeer. Then if you lift too much, of course, you lose too much time. And then if you get too much curbing on the inside, you can just basically lose the grip at the front and have understeer. Or then if you lift too much, basically the front gets loose, or the rear, or whatever, and you just almost spin the car because it gets completely sideways. So it's very difficult to nail at least this one, because then if you have this one right, you should be fine for the second right. But this one is actually, it doesn't look like it when it's dry. It doesn't feel like a corner, but with the wet, it's, I think, I won't say the most difficult corner of the track, but it's very challenging to make it without losing that much time. So as you can see, getting close of the 50 on the left, at that point I'm just lifting the throttle, so I'm not putting any brake, just need to lift. And then, as you can see, getting close of the 50, which is basically the white line on the left of the curb, I'm just lifting. I keep lifting, and then once I'm going into the deep, there is a sort of deep, like it's not fully flat, like when you are getting close of the apex, like it goes a bit not on downhill, but there is a sort of deep deep, I would say. And at that point, I'm just going back on power, trying to find the rotation. And then once I'm on the curb, basically touching the curb, going fully on power. So that's the two thing. And as you can see, still on the exit, having a small moment, steering to the left. So yeah, that's the way I found to make it. Don't know if I'm doing this all the time, consistent, like the same way I'm approaching this corner, but I think this is pretty a pretty good technique to do it like that, into the deep, going on power to find the rotation, so it brings the nose into the corner, and as well it brings the world car into the corner. And then on the curb, putting a bit of throttle will actually help you to rotate it as well a bit the car, because it will make it slide a little bit. But of course, that's the thing, you make it slide, but yeah, do not make it slide too much, I guess, because you will find out by yourself. But yeah, the one thing is that you have to make sure at least to keep it safe on the exit. So do not leave the curb, and I would say do not touch the curb if you can, because this curb is actually a nightmare. If you I don't know how to say that, but if you are being too greedy on the curb, you won't be able to leave the curb. And of course, if you are braking on the curb, you are basically dead because the car will just go straight away. You won't have any grip. So the ideal would be to just stay away from the curb. But then if you can't manage to leave the curb before the corner and before going on the brake, it's over. So yeah, you really have to make sure you can leave that curb when you are on throttle. Otherwise, it's gonna be it's over, at least for the lap and for the race. So yeah, um, that's why you have to. And this time I think it was quite okay. I wasn't too deep on the curb. I wasn't on the very edge of the curb, so I still had some margin. But yeah, if I was just on the very edge and touching the green, then it would have been over. So just be very careful on the exit of the king. Then heading into this right one, so braking quite early. So once I'm getting close of the apex, then just going on the brake. So getting close of this white line, I guess maybe between 5 and 10 meters from that white line. Going on the brake, just trying to not brake too much because, like I said, if you get into the ABS, then it's even more difficult with the wet conditions. So this means you're gonna you will get more on the steer and you will just struggle. So yeah, just make sure you're not braking too deep. So that's why maybe brake a bit earlier. I think you could almost brake when you are out of the right one with the dry, but with the wet you need to brake earlier. So on the brake, we'll go down the gears. I think I will jump to third. I think so. Yeah, I'm jumping to third. Looking at the just going as much to the left, but without touching the white line or without touching the curb, otherwise you will crash. So yeah, very important to stay away from the curb, even if it's really difficult. But yeah, you really have to work on that and just make sure you can stay away from those two things. And then as you can see, just staying on the brake, just trying to make sure I'm not carrying too much speed into this right one, because it's really easy to overshoot this one and then end up doing an emergency brake because you are about to go off the track. So yeah, it's very important to not going too fast entering this one, because then you compromise a lot the exit and you can easily lose 2 tenths, 3 tenths because you went too wide and you don't have any speed on the exit of this one. So it's better braking more. It's better to sort of compromise, even if you are not really compromising the corner, because at the end you are just making it right and you are just having the right speed on the exit. But it's better to arrive without saying compromise. It's better to arrive a bit slower on the entry, but then you have the good speed on the exit and you don't lose any momentum. So yeah, as you can see on the brake with third gear, and then when I'm heading into the corner, and I will get close of going on the curb, going on power. As you can see, fully on power when I'm leaving the curb, fully on power. Then I just try to stay away from the curb on the left, just braking when I'm getting close of the white line on the left. So as you can see, I will jump to second. Same, I'm just trying to not go on the inside. Feels like there is some there is some standing water on the apex, so just keep a bit of a margin, because yeah, it just doesn't feel like very grippy when you're going on the inside. And then as you can see, with the power, just trying to find the rotation, just trying to quickly open the steering on the exit. Then I move to the right with third gear, just trying to stay away from the curb on the right. I think it was pretty close. I touched the white line, so lucky me, I didn't spin, but could have been close, I guess. Then as you can see on the entry, going on the brake, trying to make sure I can really slow down the car. I don't want to get wide on the exit of this one because it's pretty much the same as this one. Actually, it's the same approach. It's basically what I told you. It's not about compromising the entry. It's just about having the right speed on the entry to have a good momentum on the exit. So I won't say twice what I said before. It's exactly the same approach. On the brake, slowing down the car, making sure I can get the curbing on the inside, and as you can see, easy. Not going too wide. I'm not going on the green where I'm about to lose the car and lose all the grip. A bit of curbing, doesn't feel too slippery. So once again, on the curb, just before going on the curb, going on power, trying to find the momentum, trying to find the rotation on throttle. Then easy on the exit, just getting a bit of curbing, but then just need to leave the curb before I'm braking. Getting past I don't know what for what this white line is made for. I don't know. I think it has something to do with safety car in real life, but yeah, once you get past this white line, then just go on the brake. I will jump to third. I won't go to second. And then as you can see on the brake, I bring the car to the apex with the, or at least into the car. No, not really the apex because I'm going quite early on throttle, but I bring the car to the curb with the throttle, and then early on throttle, trying to find the rotation, trying to find the momentum, then quickly open the steering on the exit, and pretty much like it was I don't know, yeah, it was the corner where you were entering the back straight. It's the same. Don't touch the blue part on the outside because you're gonna lose a lot of grip, and it can get sideways. But yeah, just leave the right wheels on the very edge of the curb because there is a bit less standing water, I guess. And yeah, then you are done with the lap around Misano. Pretty difficult, but yeah, at the end, if you do everything right, it's not so difficult. Just about getting used to all the stuff with the rain. Just having an understanding of how which line you have to take, how much you have to brake, and how aggressive you can get on the total. But yeah, that was the lap around Misano. Alright guys, we're done for today. That was the lap guide of the third week of the Falcon Tire Sports Car Challenge. We were at the Misano track with the Porsche. Yeah, of course, I hope it has been useful for you. I guess it's very interesting to see how the rain works. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Coach Dev Academy channel and join the Discord server if you have any questions. And I see you for the fourth week. Bye bye.